Hey there folks, how you doing on this beautiful day here in London? Isn't it beautiful? Aren't we having a beautiful day? But unfortunately it's quite windy for sound quality reasons. I'm gonna have to continue this in my van. I'm so sorry. I would love to continue this chat outside, but just too windy. Okay, so I'll see you in the next clip. Okay folks, let's see how we get on with this inside my van on a clear blue sky day in London. Well, it's one of those choices. Either I'm outside in nice scenery, but I've got that horrible wind sound effect going across the mic, or I'm inside with no wind, but I've got shit scenery behind me. Well, what can you do? Anyway, so what has inspired this video today? Well, today I'm talking about the 1% scenario, but this time it's associated with the red pill. Last time, the last video I made was in association to the black pill. Now, for those who don't know what I'm talking about, the red pill and black pill, I suggest just watch my previous video where I give a breakdown of the blue pill, black pill, red pill, right? So, what has inspired this video today? I watched the Fresh and Fit podcast, and also something that Kevin Samuel has said in the past as well. I have covered his I've covered his point of view as well in a previous video, but I want to sort of reiterate it because it blends in with the Fresh and Fit podcast as well. So I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone here. Right, so let me make some caveats and some disclaimers first. First of all, I totally agree that you got to focus on the majority because the exception does not make the rule, and I totally go with that, right? And also, I hate that when I lose my train of thought. Oh yes, yeah. And in no way, shape or form, I am dictating to anybody who they should and shouldn't find attractive, okay? Keep it real, as they say, as they used to say on the streets in the 90s, keep it real, meaning don't be fake, be true to yourself, and so forth, and live and let love. Okay, so let's get to it. So, on the Fresh and Fit podcast, now, the narrative on that show is, of course, the majority of men prefer a fit, slim woman, which obviously, for health reasons, is not only is it pleasing to look at, but it's better for health reasons. Okay, so I agree with that. So, the narrative was, there's a type of man who either cannot get a bad B, because that seems to be the currency on the Fresh and Fit podcast. Seem to be focused on the bad Bs, even though they point out the problems with them, but that seems to be the current currency in terms of the standard that a guy should go for, a bad B, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the impression I get. Anyway, nothing against that. If that's your thing, go for it. You know, knock yourself out. Live and let love. Okay, right. So the narrative, what they said is like, well, anytime a guy goes for a woman who's outside of the bad B, and if she's a bit overweight, say she's more on the plus size side of the tracks, is because he lacks status. I may be fucking it up the way I'm describing it. He lacks status, and he goes for that sort of woman for the moment because he can't get the slimmer, fit woman, and he's waiting for the opportunity where he can get a fitter, slit woman or something like that. But basically, the long and short of it is they associate what a man can get in reference to his bank balance. Now, I reserve the right to be wrong. So if I'm wrong, please correct me, right? Because I welcome constructive criticism, and I welcome being corrected. Okay, so I do welcome it. So if I'm wrong, if I've made it, if I've misquoted them and I've said things wrong, please, I beg you, please correct me. I want to be corrected. Anyway, so that's the impression I have been given. Okay, so now I'm not saying that they're wrong for a section of men, because remember, they're dealing with the majority. As Kevin Samuel says, what did he say? Give a man 500 million and you'll see the sort of woman he really wants to be with. I disagree with that. Not saying that he's wrong in the majority of cases. But again, once again, I'm here to talk about that 1% scenario, okay, which I'm going to come to in a second. Right. So the association with what's on a man's arm is attached to his bank balance. Okay. Right. So that's the impression I've been given by the narrative both Kevin Samuel and a Fresh and Fit podcast has said. Right. Here comes the 1%, which I fall into. They never seem to talk about or acknowledge there is a man who falls into the 1% scenario who is naturally attracted to the fuller figured woman. Now, there's degrees of fuller figured. You got the smaller end, which would be the thick category. And then you got the very far end, which is extremely large. I mean, I don't want to be disrespectful, but large, very, like 2-3 times me large. There are guys who are into that. I am not into that, but there are guys who are into that. But I'm on the lower end. I'm on the smaller end of the fuller figured. I like them, as they say in the Caribbean, I like a thick woman. I am naturally attracted to that. Now, my penis doesn't know anything about bank balance and money. All my penis knows is, would I fuck it? And is she willing to suck it? That's the only currency my penis knows. So it doesn't matter how much money you throw at me, it won't change my sexual preference. It's kind of like, it would be like saying that if you give a gay man enough money, he won't be gay. Contrary to what a lot of religious people believe, you do not choose your sexuality. You do not choose your sexual preference. You can't change that side of you. That is part of your makeup. So I find a curvy, chunky woman with a big ass, chunky thighs, big boobs, I find that sexually attractive. Even though I recognize it's probably more healthy for her to be slimmer and fitter, right? But sexually, you know, very important point I want to make. I've almost forgot a really important point. Okay, some of you may or may not know, back in 2017, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Now, this is very important to the point I'm making. I was diagnosed with prostate cancer and I had a radical prostatectomy. They took my prostate out, which meant, even to this day, nearly 4 years later, right, I've recovered a lot now, but for good 3 years, well, good 2 years, I couldn't achieve a natural erection because my muscles was weak and my prostate was taken out, and it takes time for your nerves and everything to recover. So for the first 18 months, you can't get it up, right? From 2 years onwards, then life started to come back to my penis, and I was able to achieve somewhat of an erection. Right now, I'm about a fifth of the way from full recovery. Okay, that's without Cialis tablets. Okay, so what would aid my recovery? What I need for my recovery is a lot of blood stimulation. I need to be turned on as much as possible. The more blood flow, the better recovery it will be for my penis, right? So many of you guys won't know about this because you're too young. Prostate cancer is an old man disease. So this is something some of you guys may come across. Technology might be better by then, but at the moment, most of you guys are oblivious to the perils of having prostate cancer and having the radical prostatectomy operation. So I'm educating you on this. So your penis is weak. In that time, I've had sex with a slim woman and I've had sex with a curvier, chunkier woman. When I was having sex with a slimmer woman, right, though I was turned on, when I looked down at her, I thought to myself, oh, love, if only your ass was a little bit bigger. If only your thighs was a bit more chunkier, it would turn me on more. And, you know, I would reach climax a lot quicker. Then I had sex with a woman with thick thighs and a big ass and so forth. Man, my dick was big, ding, you know, and you know, I enjoyed the climax was better. I was turned on more, right? So, yes, I'm not a high value man. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm just being honest. I'm being real. However, no amount of money is going to change that reality. I am turned on with a curvy, fuller figured woman compared to a slim, fit woman. Even though I admire the slim, fit woman, but I don't sexually desire her. Okay? So the statement that Fresh and Fit podcast made, as to say, well, give a man X amount of millions and he'll be with a bad bee, and that's it, job done. Okay, that might apply to a large number of men, but there's a number of men it doesn't apply to, and that's all I'm sort of raising that point. Don't get caught up with like the majority statistics and say, yeah, that applies to all men. You got to remember there's guys like us here that we're just naturally attracted to that fuller figured chick, right? And you could ridicule us all you like, but we can't do anything about it. That's the way our sex drive was in us when we were born. You know, it's part of my sexuality. You know, what can you do? It'd be like saying, oh, change your ethnicity. You can't change your ethnicity. No more so than I can change my sexuality or my sexual preference. You know, the religious people are backwards and dumb, and they think that you could choose to be gay, you can choose to be straight, which you cannot. I've debunked many of them on. I'm not that I'm gay anyway, but I mean, not that I have a problem with gays. I'm just making the record clear that, you know, I am straight as an arrow. Like, anyway, but the point being is, I remember one religious guy. He was, oh yeah, you choose to be gay. I goes, no, you don't. I goes, okay then. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? He said vanilla. I said, did you choose that to be your favorite flavor? And he said, you know what? I never thought about it. I goes, well, yeah. So how could you choose your sexuality? You can't choose you can't choose what turns you on. How can you choose what turns you on? No more. I can't choose to prefer a slimmer woman to a bigger woman. That's what I prefer. Sexually, I can't do nothing about it. Like I said, my penis only knows one currency. Would he fuck it? And is she gonna suck it? That's all he knows. He doesn't know nothing about money. Okay, folks, I've rambled on for too long now, and I've got to get back out into that hot sunshine. So I hope I've made my point clear about the 1% of us guys are out there. And like I said, Fit and Fresh podcast, brilliant channel. I love your channel. Brilliant. What's the word I'm looking for? Brilliant viewing. Same with Kevin Samuels. Not that you'll ever be watching my microscopic channel, but still, I'm giving you guys a big up. Thank you very much. I gotta go. I'm freaking roasting hot in this bloody van here. Okay, bye. Like I am finally winning. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. We're all living on Sun Street. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. We're all living on Sun Street. Hey. It makes me blue, but keeps me coming round. Life is cheap, a smile is free. But for the dust on the window pane, it's hard to see. Sun Street's not for me. And it's good when I'm a little high. And it's good, my glasses never dry. And it's good when everything is spinning. Now I feel like I am finally winning. Na 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 na, na 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 na. We're all living on Sun Street. Na 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 na, na 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 na. We're all living on Sun Street. And it's good when I'm a little high. And it's good, my glasses never dry.
good.